Greetings, friends and fellow cigar box guitar enthusiasts. Dale Puckett here, and in this video I want to teach you, show you, demonstrate how to make a cigar box guitar neck for your cigar box guitar using a 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch. Could be anything. This happens to be butcher block. Yeah, check this out. It's got all these like finger joints in here. I don't know if you can see that right there. Interesting. I mean, the wood is perfectly straight. So anyhow, yeah. So I'm gonna show you step by step how to do this. First things first, you're gonna need a template. This one here happens to be a 20-inch template. That means 20 inches from the nut to where you want the saddle to be over here. And I determined that I wanted 19 frets. So all you do is put a mark where you want the nut to go, and then put another mark where you want to cut it off right here and make little lines. That's what we did right there. So I have a line here and a line there. So that's going to be technically this is going to be the fretboard here on the top here, right? So I'm going to cut out at an angle here, and this could be any angle that you want. I just kind of just traced out the real estate that I had here, right? So that's, I can measure that out for you, but you can make your own angle right there. It could be whatever you want. You can make it a traditional. I did want kind of a scarf looking back angle. So I have the thickness here, so I can just cut it at an angle. Now I'm keeping the thickness of the headstock in mind, and I'm just drawing up here to where I want the bottom of the neck to feel if it was. And I'm just going by visual here and by what I like to feel here. So this thickness here could be anything you want. See how I notched it down here to begin my backward ascent. So this here is going to be the beginning of my taper. Now I'm going to do a subtle taper. You can tell right here, it's getting narrower as I come up to what would be the heel here. So again, I'm taking opportunity here. This is not going to be the same thickness all the way through here. It's going to be a taper where it's thinner here, and it gets thicker slightly, ever so slightly up to where the heel would be. And then based on where the top of the box is, where I want that heel to feel the heel right there. Okay, so now it's just a matter of cutting it out. Now you can cut it out however you want. There's multiple ways. You can change the depth of your saw blade and then change it ever so slightly as you come and do like the dado cuts. That's time consuming. There's ways to do it where you can set your saw blade and then put the board on top of it and then come down straight like that. I've never had real good luck with that, so I don't recommend it. And this particular style, this particular build here, I'm going to use a jigsaw because I got one right here. And I'm just going to take my time. It's going to take a while because this is thick wood, thick and hard. So I'm just going to cut this out, and then it'll just be normal from there. I'll just start carving. Well, that jigsaw worked pretty good. So I got the bottom half. Now we're going to do this part. All right, well, that was a success. So I got this guy just about ready to snap off. And this guy just about ready to... Thought it was ready to snap off. Sometimes you have to revert to the analog. Ta-da! All right, so we are starting to take, I'll hit it with the file and I'll kind of make all those lines straight, I'll put a little bevel on here, and I think I'm still going to hit this thing with the router. So this was the thickness of the fretboard and the thickness of the box top deep, and again, this is as long as the box top. And I did incorporate a slight bit of a back angle here where the plane of the top of the cigar box is going to fit back. So I always incorporate that into my necks. So we are taking shape here. Next is the router. I picked this up for 10 bucks at a garage sale in Portland, Oregon. And man, I used the snot out of this thing. It's unfortunately the size of the hole here is so small that the largest bit that'll fit in here is a half round. So I'm gonna do the half round router right now. Another success. We got man glitter. So now we're going to start filing this thing here, and it's already starting to look like a cigar box guitar neck. Each one of these butcher blocks is all cut the exact same length, everything, right? But they all have different tones. Watch, check this out. I just get just a regular Sharpie, and listen to this. Isn't that crazy? I probably should have cut the fret slots first while the back was still flat before I routed it, because there's no way to tape the template to the curve right there. It'd be a curve, right? You know, so I need the template to be on a flat place. So I might have to do the template on this side, like to this side, and then cut my slots this way. So that's no big deal. Next, we are going to take our time and we are going to use the Shinto and make this thing voluptuous. So yes, everybody needs a Shinto. These things are pretty handy. So let's take a look at this thing here. So this is just the first pass, right? I'm going to go back and hit it with the sanding stick. But starting to feel good, man. Starting to feel good. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you just go real old school, man. Now what I like to do is I like to hold it up in the light so I can look straight down at this angle right here. And then, of course, I'm just kind of just fine tuning at this point here. But I'm looking for little variations in the shadow in here. And man, guys, look at this taper. It is thin here, and it gradually gets thicker as it comes here. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's definitely a subtle nuance. As we are almost there, just some final sanding and of course some fret slots. So I think I'm going to do those fret slots right now. So using the double-sided sticky tape, I taped the template to the side of the neck rather than on the back. We did it on the side here, and that is how I transferred the slots onto the neck here. So that is the short of it. That is how, in no time at all, I mean the candle's still burning here, right? In no time at all, we turned a block 1.5 inch block into a cigar box guitar neck. Tight. All right, guys, that is it for this video. Be sure to tune in to the future video to see how this thing ends up. Obviously, we'll be doing the frets and the tuners and you know, final sanding, mirroring it to the box. And then, you know, varnish, stain, all that good stuff. You're not gonna want to miss the next video on this thing here.